Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Skyrim. A couple of quick notes. One thing I forgot last time is that I need to... pick the locks on all of the exterior doors for lockpicking experience before I can really say that I'm finished with the outside. So, I'll take those salt piles. I just need to drop all my Riften keys in here. There we go. And I'll just go grab those keys again after I pick all these locks. But the second thing is, I changed my mind about which building to do first. I'm going to work my way clockwise around the town, picking locks, but the first building I actually want to clear is going to be Helga's bunkhouse. Oh, hey, we got a couple new people here. Here's Medici. Let's pick his pocket and let's talk to him.
Come see me in the market if you're looking for the finest custom jewelry in all of Skyrim. Tidings. Yes?
Do you make your own jewelry?
I do. Sadly, I'm one of the few traditional Saxhleel jewelers that remains in Tamriel. It's becoming a lost art. Only trouble is gathering materials has become hazardous. The roads to the mines and to the other cities are thick with bandits, and worse. Would you be interested in gathering some materials for me? I'd certainly be happy to compensate you.
Sure, I'll get them for you.
Thank you, Landstrider. I'm seeking a small list of items to complete my next creation. 2 flawless sapphires, a mammoth tusk, and a chunk of gold ore.
I have your flawless sapphires.
Good. These will make wonderful settings for my rings.
This is a miscellaneous quest called Ringmaker. I have a mammoth tusk for you.
The ivory from this tusk will be perfect for the inlay on my amulets.
I have a chunk of gold ore for you.
Perfect. Melting this down will give me plenty of gold for those necklaces I started.
Did you need anything else?
No, I think I have enough here to get started. Here, let me give you this. It's the least I can do for all your trouble.
And there the quest is completed. How's business?
Not well, I'm afraid. That Brynjolf, he keeps draining the people's pockets with his ridiculous miracle cures. A few months ago, it was Troll Fat Salve, and now he's got something new. Not that there's anything that can be done about it. He's in good with the Thieves Guild.
Alright.
Safe travels, Landstrider.
Well, thanks, Medici. Okay, we picked the lock on Boley's house, so now we'll do errands. I did manage to get one, what's the word I'm looking for? Extra lockpick.
Can't a woman get a moment to herself?
Obviously not going to clear that house out yet. Well, let's keep going this way. Next, we have Snowshod Manor. Oops. Damn. This is a very troublesome adept lock. There we go. There's Riftweald Manor, which we can't do anything about.
Is your armor made of dragon scales?
I don't think the Hall of the Dead or the Temple of Mara actually lock. No, they don't. Blackbriar Manor has a few different entrances. Let's see if I can whirlwind sprint to the balcony. I don't even know if it's locked. I just want to check. I think that would work if I positioned it right. I just want to see if it's locked or not. It's not even locked. There's no need to bother.
I need to ask you to stop.
Let's just stay downstairs. Oh, look, it's Brandshay. Let's talk to him. Well, this is good. He was the main reason I wanted to do Helga's bunkhouse first, so maybe I don't need to.
If you're ever in the market, I deal in specialty goods for Morrowind at one of the stands. Need something?
You have an odd name for a dark elf.
I may be dark elf by birth, but I was raised Argonian. For reasons I'm still trying to discover, I ended up orphaned and taken in by a kindly Argonian family in Black Marsh. I hope one day to find out what happened to me, how I ended up like that.
Do you have any clues about your past?
Just one. I know when I was found by my Argonian father, I was wrapped in a blanket bearing the symbol of House Telvanni. It was one of the great houses in Morrowind long ago. Whether that means I was one of them or not, I'm uncertain. If you come across anything in your travels that might provide me with the answers I'm looking for, I'd be grateful.
I'll keep an eye open.
Thank you.
Locate a clue about Brandshay's past. Why were you searching in Skyrim?
I learned that a matron who had served for House Telvanni had escaped Morrowind during the Accession War. Records showed her buying passage aboard a sailing vessel named the Pride of Telvos, but that's where the trail ran cold. I spent years looking for what became of the ship, but I ended up empty-handed.
Fair enough.
Anything you can find would be of great help. Good luck.
Alright, let's see if the back door to Blackbriar Manor locks. Nope. Well, let's head to the front door then. I should be able to get all these locks picked before anything reopens, which is good. Oh. Well, I guess I'll need to go check Blackbriar Manor again, because I'm pretty certain at least the front door locks at some point. And I want to pick it open. We got Mistvale Keep Barracks,
I know you're kind.
Mistvale
Always
Keep,
snooping about.
Riften Jail, which don't lock. I think Honor Hall Orphanage stays unlocked. I know the Ratway stays unlocked, but people's houses shouldn't. Starting with Romlin Dreth's house. Valendor's house. Lockpicking to 84. Good times, good times. Maurice Aravel's house.
Can I help you?
Oh, we're allowed to be in here. That's right, we're friends with her. Stick to the rest of the canal for now. We can do... Elgrim's Elixirs apparently doesn't lock. I don't think Beggar's Row does either. Now we got Helga's bunkhouse, which doesn't lock. Bee and Barb doesn't lock, it's the tavern.
Is that fur coming out of your ears?
Here, Pond Prawn has an adept lock. Let's get it open. Blackbriar Meadery has an adept lock. Let's do that one too. And that should just leave the Scorched Hammer. Alright. Let's go get my keys back.
Let me guess. Someone stole your sweet rolls?
It's nighttime, people should be in bed. So I think I can actually go with what I intended to do, which was to start with Boley's house. His stuff would eventually become free to take, but I don't really care. It won't until after I go all the way to Markarth, which naturally will take some time. Well, let's just clear out the house. We can't talk to his wife yet, but we can pick her pockets.
You're not getting... What do you think?
She's got some good stuff, but what I can't seem to get is her mead, which is very strange. There we go. Requested report. I'm gonna go take this off my book list right quick. There we go. Boley, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but your suspicions are likely correct. I've been following Nivenor as you requested, and I'm fairly certain that she's had extramarital relations with more than one individual within Riften. I have yet to obtain proof of her adultery, so please do not confront her with this information until I've secured it. I'll waive the usual charges for now, but expect full payment once... And it seems to be bugged because I can't turn the pages, so... Once the proof is in my possession, is what that wants to say. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's pick that up. I just need to remember I haven't spoken to Nivenor yet and still need to do so. Olaf and the Dragon we've read. Kolb and the Dragon we've read. Sleeping in separate beds isn't a good sign, y'all. Oh, Boley's not even in here. The plot thickens. Thought maybe there was another bed down here, but apparently that is not the case. Anyway, Boley's house is cleared out now. Just still need to speak to Nivenor. 3:12. Everybody will wake up soon enough. The good news with that is most people leave their houses. Oh, there's Bully.
Don't set anything on fire, right? Did you get that purchase agreement to Markart?
Alright, let's try Aaron's house next. Get all that stuff they knocked across the floor when they angrily jumped up at my first entrance. There's another note. Request for help. Let me take that one off the book list. Lady Mule, I hope this letter finds safe passage to your hands. We are in desperate need of help and we have nowhere else to turn. Everyone in Dawnstar is having nightmares. These horrible visions plague our slumber and leave us feeling frightened and tired even after a full night's sleep. I myself have awoken from one of the dreams bathed in cold sweat after having one of these nightmares. The things that I saw were simply too appalling to describe. There's a priest of Mara that claims he might be able to help us, but so far he simply sits within the Wind Peak Inn scribbling notes. If you could find it in your heart to make the journey to our city and help us, I would forever be in your debt. Medina. If you guessed that we will be the ones to eventually deal with that, you guessed right. Well, we've cleared out the first floor. Let's head upstairs. Much going on in Aaron's room. Let's see about Mule. Rising Threat Volume 2, we've read. Check the basement. That's it for that. That's it for Aaron's house. I just need to keep moving. I think our next spot is Snowshod Manor. Looks like we might have to come back during the day. It's unclear whether or not.
You're not supposed to be in here.
Nura doesn't seem to sleep. I could just go upstairs first. Here's Volwolf. We haven't spoken to him yet. We can pick his pockets now and speak to him later. There we go. Volwolf Snowshod. Yellow Book of Riddles we've read. .12. People might wake up soon. Let's see if we can get Asgear's room cleared out, though. I'm guessing that's who's in here. Oh, nope, this one's also empty. Go figure. Oh good, we cleared the whole top floor, that's something. Nura doesn't seem to be abandoning her post. Let's see if we can do the basement. I just realized I never actually looked at No Stone Unturned. It was suggested that I show my unusual gem to Vex, a member of the Thieves Guild in Riften. However, I'll need to wait until I'm a full member of the guild before she'll be able to assist me. Alright, basement's clear. Maybe I can even get most of the first floor. If she's parked there, I should be able to do this back half unmolested. did not want to sit on the bench, dummy. Ugh. I freaking hate it when it does that, and it happens a lot when you're trying to clear tables like this. It's because that stupid sitting animation pulls you straight out of sneak mode. Already read The Woodcutter's Wife. Somebody's awake and on the move. I think Voldwolf might come in here, so... That could also have been Nura leaving. I don't know, but that back room is clear, so this main room is the only one left. Oh, it was Nura leaving. Perfect. Well. Let's clear this last room then. We've read Rising Threat Volume 3. We've read Killing Before You're Killed. We've read Dwemer Inquiries Volume 2. If you didn't arrive with a mammoth tusk for Medici, there's a convenient one right there. Alright, let's get out of here. Snowshod Manor, cleared out. We just still need to talk to Voldwolf. Good. The next building is Riftweald Manor, which we can't do anything with yet. So I think next we'll do the Hall of the Dead.
There's an apothecary in town, yeah. It's down on the lower walkway, so stay sharp if you
And
go
then
down.
the Temple of Mara. What do we have here? That bowl must have been on that table, and I was just confused. Looks like we have a dead Nord. Who's going to be embalmed. Let's head over here. We're gonna go counterclockwise this time. Can't take that skull for some reason. No matter. Oh, but there's the caretaker, Alessandra. Let's go ahead and pick her pocket and talk to her.
Come to laugh at the grave tender? I can see that disapproving look in your eye. Need something?
You tend the graveyard?
If you're trying to ask if I tend the Hall of the Dead alone, then the answer is yes. You think anyone around here is going to lift a shovel to help me? Guess again. Leave the dirty work to old Alessandra. Look, I didn't ask for this job. I got stuck with it thanks to my father.
How's your father to blame for the job?
My father was a priest of Archay. All my life was spent around the dead, being forced to learn the proper burial rituals and prayers. I never had any friends. Who'd want to spend time with the weird little girl who hangs around dead people? So I grew up with a miserable trade. This is all I know how to do. Prepare and inter the deceased.
How can you make peace with your father?
I'd like to make the journey to the Hall of the Dead in Windhelm, and give my ceremonial dagger to Anders, the caretaker. I believe once it's interred with my father's remains, I'll be at peace with his memory.
I could bring it for you.
I hadn't asked you because I was afraid you'd say no. I appreciate your help. Here, I'm entrusting you with the dagger. Bring it to Anders and he'll take care of the rest.
Bring Alessandra's dagger to Anders in Whiterun. What's special about the dagger?
A priest of Archay is entrusted with a ceremonial dagger once they've completed their training. It's usually given by the head priest who sanctified the ritual. In my case, the head priest happened to be my father. The thing is, I never wanted to follow in his footsteps. In some ways, I still don't.
But you ended up doing it anyway.
I had to, for honor's sake. But I had waited too long. My father died before he could see my training to completion. When I finally became a priest, they gave me the new High Priest's dagger, but I already owned my father's. So you see, I have to return it. It breaks tradition, and I need to tell him that I finally did what he wanted. Be cautious. The pilgrimage to the shrine is not an easy one.
Yes, it is. All we have to do is fast travel to Whiterun. And if she wants to think it's hard, maybe she'll give us a better reward. So we'll take care of that when we're done here in Riften. Won't be too hard.
Anything else before you make the journey?
Been going about 30 minutes. I'm pretty happy with our pace. It won't take us too long to clear out Riften at the rate we're going. Faster than Whiterun, mostly because there aren't really new books to read. That takes a long time. But we have already read most of the books at this point. And look, the Temple of Mara. I guess that's what we'll do next. We were going to anyway, because, you know, it shares a building. I guess we'll start in the basement. This is Alessandra's little bedroom. She actually sleeps here in the temple. Especially sleeping with the corpses would be creepy. We are racking up on quests, as you can see. Tends to happen in a new major city, but I think Riften probably has the most. Especially if you factor in the Thieves Guild.
Why, you little filcher.
Oh, what the hell? Nobody's supposed to be down here. Bull shizzle. Oh well. Use the autosave. Seriously, I didn't think anyone came down here except Alessandra. And her only when sleeping. Shows what I know, I guess. Yep, he's coming. I guess I should go ahead and pick his pocket and talk to him. Breel. Well, nothing to pickpocket. Makes that easy.
Good morning.
No one-liners. Which of the 8 divines do you serve?
This temple is dedicated to Mara, and the light of love she shines on us all. I'm only a humble acolyte, though. If you wish to avail yourself of Mara's blessing, you should speak with Denyo Balu or Maramo. Good day.
Easy enough. The hell is he doing in Alessandra's bedroom? Oh well. Don't ask too many questions. Here's another person, Dinya Balu. She's gonna give us a full-on side quest. Let's pick her pocket first.
Lady Mara bids you welcome to her benevolence. What is it you seek, my child? Visiting Riften? All are welcome at the Temple of Mara. Pleased to meet you. I'm a priestess at the Temple of Mara. Need something?
Which of the 8 divines do you serve?
We are devoted to the goddess Mara, who gave mortals the gift of love, that they might have a hint of eternity. Her blessings are many. To love is to know the true nature of the gods.
May I receive her blessings?
Not all can hear the broad echoes of deepest dawn. To receive the touch of Mara, you must first act as her hands in the world. Explore the facets of the infinite jewel. Are you prepared, then, to help bring the light across this land?
Just tell me what to do.
The dawn surely opens upon you, child. You must bear its light that all may see. Mara has reflected an image to me. At the foot of the throat, and the young woman, almost a girl. Her fickle love must resolve itself. The village of Iverstead. The woman, Fastred. This is the prayer heard by the goddess and relayed to her servants. Return when she has seen her path. I will entreat Mara on your behalf.
Started. The Book of Love. Talk to Fastrid. This quest goes in several stages. This one's pretty easy, and we'll do it right away. Well, after we finish clearing Riften. The Book of Love. I've agreed to help the Temple of Mara help the cause of love throughout Skyrim. Talk to Fastrid. Alright. Onward. We've read Adra and Daedra, we've read A Children's Annuad, we've read the Monomyth, we've read Trials of Saint Alicia. I think he just teleported, because there's no way he walked in. I've noticed the game doing that more than once. An NPC gets stuck or something, and they teleport to where they need to be. I guess it beats keeping them stuck, but it does lead to some surprises. That turned out okay, though. Could have sworn there was supposed to be a note in here. Let me make sure it hasn't fallen under the dresser. No, I have to complete Talon Jay's quest first. That's right, okay. Onward then. Ah, there is a note here. Reports of a disturbance. Maramal, we've gotten numerous reports of disturbances in the graveyard area next to the temple, and we'd like you to investigate. The reports described strange noises, such as stone grating on stone and shadowy figures moving about the mausoleum. I've sent a guard to investigate, but they've come up empty-handed. We've already spoken to Alessandra, but she assures me that these odd reports have nothing to do with any rituals of Arcade she might be performing. Any help you could render would certainly be appreciated. Anuriel, Steward of Riften. Interesting. As usual, we will figure out what that is later, so don't worry about it. Let's see. Nothing in the main chapel except that Shrine of Mara over there. Ah, look, a master-locked chest. Let's get that open. I ought to be able to do it with 3 picks, but it may take multiple attempts. Never even saw the sweet spot. Never a hint of movement. Aha. Gods and worship we've read, so we can just take it. The main chapel room is mostly empty, which is a good thing. It's never good if something's empty, but... And here, I think, is a complete set of the Song of Pelennor. Of course, we only have one left, V8. And then we'll have read them all. Yes, this is the only new one. The Song of Pelennor, Volume 8, on his revelation at the death of the Alesh. Never have to read another one of these. Editor's note, volumes 1 through 6 are taken from the so-called Riemann manuscript located in the Imperial Library. It is a transcription of older fragments collected by an unknown scholar of the early Second Era. Beyond this, little is known of the original sources of these fragments, some of which appear to be from the same period, perhaps even from the same manuscript. But as no scholarly consensus yet exists on dating these 6 fragments, no opinions will be offered here. And left you to gather sinew with my other half, who will bring light thereby to that mortal idea that brings the gods great joy, that is freedom, which even the heavens do not truly know, which is why our father, the text lost, in those first days spirit swirls before convention, that which we echoed in our earthly madness. Let us now take you up. We will show our true faces, which eat one another in amnesia each age. Alright, well that was bizarre. That just leaves this little room. Oh, maybe that's the note I was thinking of. It is. We've read A Kiss, Sweet Mother, but here's a note called Argonian Ceremony. Pull this one off the list. Drifa, I was wondering if you could speak to Maramal about perhaps presiding over a marriage ceremony for myself and Kirava. She's the love of my life, and I wish to be with her forever, but only if we can be wed in traditional Argonian fashion. Traditional Argonian bonding ceremonies are somewhat long and complex, involving unique rituals spoken in our native language. I'd be more than happy to provide a book describing what I'm looking for, as long as Maramal doesn't mind. Talon J. Okay. And that's it for the Temple of Mara. Been going about 45 minutes, so can keep on going. I think next up is Blackbriar Manor.
Protect yourself right. Buy armor from Grelka.
I guess Blackbriar Manor just isn't going to be locking. Hemming Blackbriar is in here. Here's another note regarding your loss. Need to take it off my list. Lady Maven Blackbriar, I've made inquiries into the loss of your mead shipment to Cyrodiil, and I've come to the conclusion that they were waylaid by a group of mercenaries under the employ of the Empire. According to my sources, these mercenaries were not acting under orders and simply attacked the caravan for supplies. I forwarded a request for compensation on your behalf to the Imperial Council, and the mercenaries in question have already been dealt with accordingly. Again, I wish to extend my deepest apologies for this unfortunate mishap, and I assure you that any future shipments into our nation will be met at the border by an Imperial patrol and personally escorted to its final destination. Regan Limulus, Grand Steward, Imperial City Trade Relations. There we go. Oh, we can steal from the actual end table, too. This place is huge, and it's also typically unoccupied, which makes it pretty easy. We've read Alduin is real. Oh, Hemming Blackbriar. Alright, good. Let's pick his pocket and speak to him.
Fancy yourself the adventuring type, eh? It's just as well. I doubt your combat prowess would prove valuable in a real battle anyway. I was trained by some of the finest warriors in all Skyrim to wield a blade as if it was an extension of my own arm. My mother spares no expense where I'm concerned. I'm heir to the family fortune, after all. Once I'm in charge, I have bigger aspirations than just Skyrim. I plan to bring Blackbriar mead to all of Tamriel. My children, Civi and Ingen, are being groomed to run the family business one day as well. Civi will prove to be a fine leader one day, but Ingen, that girl has her mind somewhere other than business. Maven's disappointed that Ingen's heart isn't in the family business, but she says Ingen still has her uses. Not sure what that means. What do you need?
Alright, well that's it for him. Let's head to the dining room. We've read Thief of Virtue. We've read of Cross to Daggers. Need to be careful, he's coming back in here.
Fancy yourself the adventuring type, eh? It's just as well. I doubt your combat prowess would prove valuable in a real battle anyway.
There's the back door. That way lies the basement. Let's get the stuff around the staircase. I think Blackbriar Manor, I think we'll clear it out and then we'll call it a video, because that'll be about 1 hour. The Amulet of Kings. Pretty sure I have read that. Let me check just to be certain. Yes. Gods in Worship we've read. Hope of the Redoran we've read. This will be it for the first floor. I'd like to head upstairs. Lost Legends, we've read. Ruins of Kemose, we've read. This looks fancy. Debella statue. We've read Alduin is Real. Read the Arcturian Heresy. That's the door out to their balcony. Got a couple of notes here. A letter from Sabjorn. Maven, this is the final letter I'll be sending you. I'm sick to death of your underhanded methods. A little competition never hurt anyone, and Honningbrew has barely scratched the surface of your business. I've lost 2 more shipments this month to these so-called bandits. If I find out you're involved, I'm taking it to the Jarl, Sabjorn. Letter from Christoph. Dearest Maven, after our disagreement a fortnight ago, I feared that business had finally gotten the best of our friendship. Since I still have yet to receive a reply to my last letter, it seems my suspicions are correct. I realize my mistake has cost you a lot, and all I hope to do is make amends. I'll be staying at the Bannered Mare in Whiterun, should you wish to speak with me. Regards, Christoph Bartlett. Well, I would wager that man is dead. Because we found... If you recall, we found Maven's reply to him in the Bannered Mare, and it said something about bringing him to the family home immediately. I don't like his chances, based on what we've heard about Maven. Now let's head in here. Darkest Darkness, we've read. We've read Biography of Baron Zaya. Read Mixed Unit Tactics. I always feel a strange bit of nostalgia when we find a copy of that, just because it's the first book you encounter in the game. Let's get the stuff from the end of this hallway before we do the other bedroom. Alright, now we still need to do the basement. So that's where I'll go next. We'll go clockwise for this one. Master locked door? What could this be about? Lockpicking to 85. That's good. Ah! What is this? A human heart, human flesh, a skeleton, a dagger, a nightshade, a copy of A Kiss, Sweet Mother. If you paid attention to that book, it's obvious that Maven has performed the Black Sacrament. And here's another note to the Brotherhood. There we go. Astrid, I thought your people were supposed to be reliable. I've performed the Black Sacrament, I've paid the proper penance, and I've waited patiently for results. If you can't handle a simple assassination, I'll find someone who can. I want this contract handled, and I want it handled immediately. Maven Blackbriar. Alright. One last little room. This is, I guess we haven't met her yet, so we wouldn't know, but this is Ingun's home alchemy lab. She spends most of her time at Elgrim's Elixirs, which is where I'm expecting to run into her once we get there, but look at all these ingredients. Neat. I think human heart. I should look at human flesh and human heart. Oh yeah, I'd almost forgotten about this. I'm still missing 2 effects on human heart. Let me see what they are. Damage Magicka and Frenzy. Well, I can get Frenzy if I mix it with a Falmer ear. So let's do that right quick. Well, actually, what would be best is if let's do a Butterfly Wing. Let's get Damage Magicka. There we go. 3 out of 4 effects on human heart now. Only 1 left to find. Good. Yeah, human heart's a pretty rare ingredient. Alright, that's it for Blackbriar Manor, and that's gonna be it for this video. Let me just make my way out and see what my next target is. I think next I'm gonna go ahead and tackle Mistvale Keep. The only question is where to start. Probably start with the barracks, then with the main keep, then the Jarl's quarters, then the jail. There's just always a lot to do.
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too long since we've had a good bandit raid.
Come on, Butterfly. Why you go away? What you mean you don't want your wings plucked? Alright, let's head up here. I think, yes. We'll start the next video with the Mistvale Keep barracks. I'll go ahead and head inside. They never lock or anything. Alright, here we are. This has been Let's Play Skyrim. We're plugging away at Riften, but we handled a lot of houses in a pretty short time. Next time we will start off in the Mistvale Keep barracks and see how far we're able to get in an hour. Until then, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.